What's up guys, Popo here, and today what I want to show you on the MPC-X is how to use, under track you'll see the four squares, the plug, the piano, the clip, the MIDI, and the CV. So those are 6 different approaches that you can take on the MPC, and I kind of want to go over just the basics of each one. So that's pretty much what I'm going to cover on this video. If you're new to the channel, thank you very much for watching and subscribing. It really means a lot right now. All the support that we can get right now is really crucial, so it means a lot. And if you're new to creating content or anything like that, I do have a whole lot of videos, and if you need a one-on-one or anything like that, just feel free to give me a contact on my email, and yeah, I'll be more than happy to help you out. But today we're just going to go over the basic functions, so check this out here real quick. Alright, cool. So right off the bat, you see these drums, right? You got 4 squares. These are going to be whenever you, if you're looking like, where's my sounds? There's no samples, there's no nothing. So you have to hit browse. These are all of your sounds that are in your MPC that are stock. These are all the sounds in the MPC that if you want one shots, say you were listening to a record and who is calling? No. But yeah, no, if you want to sample a record and capture one drum, it's ridiculous. This is more if you want to sample one drum or capture one actual drum, you can do that. And like if you're more into, I want to capture a guitar sound so I can play it on a keyboard, you can pitch your drums and everything like that, and that's for like auto warping and more of a hip hop style of chopping up your samples and playing them on pads as little clips. But the plugin is really cool because it gives you up to 8 plugins, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and you have these different options of plugins in standalone mode, which is really dope. You do have the 2.9 update. You can use multi, but this is the same. Watch, I'm going to show you something here. These are not samples. These are actual engines. When you hit program edit, these are synth engines. You're not going to find any sounds that you sampled. Alright, these are sounds that you want to create to play. Now if you captured a sound, like I said, if you want to capture an artist playing a note on a very expensive guitar or on a flute or a saxophone, or if you need those instruments, you just sample those little bitty pieces, and then on your key group you can hit browse, and it'll also let you put your samples that you loaded, your one-shots, and it'll let you play it across the whole keyboard. And you have these different octaves too, so you have full control over that artist's guitar or flute or saxophone or whatnot. As far as the clips, whenever you're messing with these, it's like whenever you have a recorded 8-bar loop and you save it as a clip. I want that here. I want 4 different variations of my kick drum, 4 different variations of my snare. You know, if you have, and you can recall them, and it'll play 1 or 2 at a time, and you can juggle in between 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4. It only plays 1 at a time though, but it's really cool. I haven't really dove into that too much, but I do like it. Now this next one here is probably going to be my favorite one, and let me show you why here real quick. The Midi Out, this little MIDI, the next one to the right of the clip, right underneath the plug, MIDI. You can use the USB, okay? The USB will control my Behringer Neutron, my Model D, anything with a USB. It'll control my Sledge, my Korg Mini Log, anything with a USB. And, wait, the Korg doesn't have a USB. So what I like to do, I'm a little bit old school. I still have my Radio Shack cables. Okay, so my MIDI cable. I like to use MIDI. There's nothing wrong with using the USB, but I'm not going to show you that workflow. I go MIDI out A in the back of the MPC. There's MIDI in 1 and 2, and then MIDI out A, B, C, and D. I go MIDI out A into my neutron, MIDI out B into my mini log, MIDI out C into my Korg, into my Studiologic Sledge, and MIDI out D into my Model D. It's just easy for me to remember. And then whenever I play, say, now I need to zoom in here, check this out. Real quick. If I want to play my Model D, I have to switch it to D. I can always name it. I can always name this Model D, or instead of this, I name it D, and do it. So now I know that on track 1, my Model D is playing on there. On track 2, I add a MIDI program 2, and then I go to MIDI port C, and that'll control my, or MIDI port A will control my bearing or neutron, so on and so forth. And that way, whenever I get the loop playing back, and they're pretty much in tune. It's not like a module where you have to tune everything. Everything is pretty much tuned. But then you can affect the sounds afterwards. You can add your delays or mess with the envelope and just make them into drums. Or it's a world of different opportunity, especially if you just go into track 2 or track 1 and you just generate random events, melodic events, and do it. So what that does is now I have these random events going into my Model D, which is really, really dope, because now I just push play and check this out. Sorry. Now all I do is I'll hit play on here and it triggers my Model D, and then I can find the sound that I like. I like to do the same thing whenever I'm messing with, like in the same thing, okay, real quick. So the MIDI, A, B, C, and D, we got that, right? But how do you get the audio back into, how do you hear what's going on, all right? So what I do, I have a mixer behind me, and it's like a $600 mixer, man. It's all you need. It doesn't do anything crazy, but take the signal that you need and route it back out to where you need it to go. So what I do, I plug every single thing into my MPC, or into my mixer, and then I go out of my mixer XLR into the input, and then I have my audio track armed, and I capture all the audio that on my microphone. I capture all the audio from here, from every single source. So if I'm just making weird noises and I want to hit my drums, my drum program, and sample those sounds and then play them on the keyboards across keys, or if I want to send random melodies of that, I can also send random melodies to that too. Now I'm saying random. What I really want to check this out, the last one here we're going to go over, and then I want to share something with you guys, okay? The CV 1 and 2. Check this out real quick here. I got an air mouse on my leg here. Let's go. CVs. I did these the color of the rainbow, that Roy G. Biv or whatever, red, orange, green. This way I know which one's the first one. This is 1, this is 2. This is my CV, and this is my gate. And I plug these two bad boys into my modular rig, and if I want to add more, I go to CV2. Just like MIDI, you have to change those. CV2, now I'm going to play CV3 and CV4 out of the back. This is 1 and 2. This is 3 and 4. So all that's going to do is trigger drums and I can plug those in to my barrier neutron and give it, so it's just like a MIDI cable, but this only sends one operation. It only does one thing, and it sends voltage, and that's it. But what's cool with the MPC is a modular dream, because you know about recording automation and everything, and you can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that on a modular rig. You can loop it or whatever, and you can record it, but you can't change it on the fly. And with these Q-Links, man, I can just change what pitch I want that oscillator. I can control everything from right here. So it's really, really cool, and I've married everything into it. So everything goes into my mixer, into my MPC. What's really, really dope about those random melodies, guys, I've learned to utilize the step sequencer, especially, let's hit the plug and tap plug in. This is how you get to here. You turn the knob, or you can double tap it, okay? Or there's an up, down, left, right arrow here. You hit the middle, and just go to like a drum kick. All right, say we got that kick, and you're playing the kick, and you're like, man, I still don't know what to play with it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what do? So what we're going to do is hit the step sequencer, and this just gets that, it gets a nice little, I forgot we had that random thing going. And the reason I say to do that is because if you have a kick, a snare, a hi-hat, toms, and all your other stuff, and you just got a nice little random thing going on, you can also do the random for your drums. Generate random events. Instead of melodic, you can hit your drum events. This way you can just get a little beat going. And the reason I say it's important, because without it, you just get stuck with the metronome. And the metronome's cool, but I'd much rather have that. It just helps, because you can hear different melodies inside of different clicks and stuff like that. Alright guys, I'm Popo. I hope this helped understand a little bit about your workflow, how to find your plugins, where your sounds are, how to play them, why they're on your screen the way that they are. And again, the 4 squares is going to be for your drums. What I do on my drums, I play everything on one track, and then I hit my pencil. Say I have 16 drums, I hit the pencil and I explode, and that'll turn those 16 drums on one track into 16 tracks. Now you can do the same thing on the plugin, but like I said, the plugin are more for synth heads that want to use synthesizers to make their sound. They like turning the oscillators and stuff like that. But if you want to manipulate a sound like this, you're going to have to resample it, MPC into the mixer also, back in, resample it, and you're good to go. Or you can just resample the internal with the sampler. And I really like the MIDI because it's got the that auto feature on it also, where I can make a sound on here and then hit auto, I believe. I haven't done it in a minute, but there's an auto sample feature on here. Somewhere on here. It's been a minute since I've done it. Maybe we'll do that next, but I'll show you how to auto sample something that has 5 different synthesizers playing at the same time, and with one hit of a pad they'll all go off, but I'll be able to sample that sound. This way I can play them across the board on a keyboard. Right on. Thanks guys, I appreciate you for watching. Have a great day, and if there's anything I can do to help, feel free to hit me up.